Okay. Hello, everybody. I am Lydia Middleton, the Executive Director of ASIS, and I am here with Maria Bond, who is the candidate for President-elect of the Association for Information Science and Technology. Welcome, Maria.
Thank you. And hello, everyone.
Glad to have you here. We are excited about this. So I have a few questions for you. I'm actually going to start out, give you about a minute if you would like to introduce yourself and share anything you would like our members to know about you before we jump into our questions. Go ahead.
Sure. Hi, I'm Maria Bond. I'm an associate professor at the School of Information Sciences at the University of Illinois, Urbana-Champaign. And I am also the director of our Masters of Science in Library and Information Science program. I have, and I'll talk about this as we go along. I have a mixed history of being both in practice and education. And a long time ago, I did a PhD in English literature. That was the beginning of my academic career. And I've been working in the information sciences with a particular focus on librarianship and scholarly communication for, oh goodness, well, since the late 90s, I'll say. I won't count the years.
Fantastic. Well, we're very glad that you're here. My first question for you is, tell me a bit about why you're a member of ASIS. Why is it that you continue to remain a member of ASIS and renew your dues every year, and why you want to be engaged with us?
Sure. Yeah, I was thinking about this. I think compared to many of our members, I haven't been a member of ASIS that long. I think it's 8 years, maybe 9, which is getting to be quite a few. But during the time I was in school getting my own library degree and then in practice, I knew of it as a well-respected organization. I knew there were smart people doing interesting things, but I would kind of go, yeah, that's that techie research thing. And then when I joined the iSchool at Urbana-Champaign and did some work with my late colleague, Jerry McDonough, on preserving intangible cultural heritage, he convinced me that ASIS was the place to present the work. And I said, sure. And I knew that many of my colleagues valued the annual meeting and being part of the association. So I'll go along. Discovered I was really wrong about it just being a place for, those techie researchers. And what I found was that it really, in a way that not any place I'm aware of does, it really welcomes and nurtures conversations across disciplines. And it also has a really capacious view of both information and technology. So at the annual meeting, for instance, in a space of a few hours, I can listen to scholars talk about recipes, card catalogs, applying artificial intelligence to cancer diagnoses. And it all makes sense that they're in the same place and that people are talking across these topics. So that's the thing that excites me about the organization, and that's why I keep coming back. And again, I don't really know of any other place that does it so well, that has that kind of, I won't say focus because it has so many foci.
That was a great description. I might have to use that for other purposes as well. So as you know, as president-elect, you would be responsible for leading the strategic planning process. We're coming to the end of our 20 to 25 plan, so we need a 25 to 28 plan going down the pike. Do you have any initial thoughts on important strategic opportunities or challenges that ASIS should be addressing in a new strategic plan?
Yeah, some of which will harken back to what I just said. I'll mention that I was one of the leads on my own school's strategic planning process a few years ago. It was the first one we'd done in 15 years. And we also did it entirely during the COVID lockdown. So it was a remote planning process where we tried to engage the entire school, staff, students, and all our faculty. And I thought, well, that's actually some experience I could put to work here, because obviously we're an organization spread out across the globe. So it's not like we'd be getting together in a room to talk about our strategic priorities. And I think as an association, we often call out, celebrate our interdisciplinarity, our multidisciplinarity. But I'd like to see us really double down on that, and find some ways to nurture and incentivize working across the disciplines, working across research and education. You know, are there ways that we can do that, you know, with the themes at the annual meeting? Are there ways that we can do that through publication, helping people seek grant funding for that kind of opportunity? So I think that would be important. I so wonder if one way to do that might be to think about some grand challenges. I mean, environmental sustainability comes to mind, climate change, of the issues surrounding production and communication of reliable information. And those are all topics that different kinds of expertise can really address, and that I think we would benefit from. So I think I would like to see that happen in a way that benefits, obviously, the association and its members, but you know, we want to benefit the world too, right?
Absolutely. I realized as you were answering that I'm going out of order on my question, so I apologize if I'm tripping you up at all. We're going to back up a little bit. You talked about having experience, having conducted a strategic planning process. So that is, of course, tremendously valuable in our incoming president-elect, because that will be an important role as president-elect. What other particular skills and experience would you bring to this role on the board?
Well, as I said, I have quite a bit of experience in practice. I worked both in academic libraries and in scholarly publishing. I've been a researcher, and I've also been paying a lot of attention to education, particularly the past 5 years since I've been directing the MSLIS program. So I hope that that would help me to make connections between those sectors, which I think are all important to the association, and to bring them together for mutual benefit. In my days in library administration, I was part of a team that managed a multi-million-dollar budget that was at the University of Michigan Library. That doesn't make me a money expert, but I think it prepares me to ask the right questions, and to be able to help ward off potential problems, think about some ways we might be able to generate revenue or allocate our resources. Yeah, I think, and as I said, that my strategic planning experience for this particular year would be helpful.
Terrific. Okay, those are my main questions. Is there anything I haven't asked you that you'd like to share with the membership about your qualifications for the board?
I think not much. Many years ago, when I was a pretty young scholar, I heard a talk by Jean-Claude Guidon, this literary scholar and a scientific historian who's done a lot of work thinking about scientific and scholarly publishing. And he refers to scholarship as the great conversation, both in the moment and across time. And I was like, I love that. That's what it is. And I have thought of that several times when I've been involved with ASIS. It's like, yeah, the great conversation here really is a great conversation. And I'd like to help keep that going.
I love that. I love that. We need to use that too. All right. Well, thank you so much for taking a few minutes with us today. And I wish you the best of luck in the election.
Well, thank you. And let me know, anybody, if you want to reach out and talk to me, ask questions, I'm here. Lydia knows how to find me, or I'm in the member directory. Thanks.
Great.